Hello, this is a data structures tutorial, and in this tutorial series, we will outline the concept of data structures and algorithms. It is important to have a very strong understanding of data structures, as large companies are always looking to make their code more efficient. And due to this reason, most technical coding interviews with companies like Google and Microsoft always ask questions related to data structures. Our goal is to choose or design an algorithm that is correct, complete, terminates, and has an optimal time and space complexity. For example, let's say we have a simple problem like getting the greatest common denominator between two integers. We can go with the naive approach where we go through search space 1 to n and keep track of the largest numbers that divide both m and n. Or we can use a different approach where we mod the two numbers together, and if it isn't 0, we grab the mod number and swap the numbers. For example, let's say we have m is equal to 24 and n is equal to 9. So if we grab the mod of 24 and 9, our remainder will be equal to 6, which is not 0. So we keep that as 6. And then we replace m with 9, and r goes into n. We keep repeating this until we get 0 as our remainder. So our next remainder would be 3. And then our m in this case is 6 and 3. And then once we mod this again, we will get our remainder as 0. So we would actually just return n from our method or function in this case. So this algorithm is actually known as Euclid's algorithm. I want to try to code it in front of you guys. That way you have a more thorough understanding of what it looks like in code. I want to code this in Java. So I'm just going to open up Eclipse and then create a new class. We'll call this greatest common denominator, or just GCD. And then we're gonna, just for simple purposes, we're just gonna have a main in our case. So we're just gonna make public static void main string args. We're gonna tell the user to input two numbers, and we're gonna store these two numbers in num1 and num2. In order to do this, we need a scanner. So I'm going to make an instance of the class scanner. And from scanner, we're going to call the methods nextInt. Sorry, so we're going to make an instance of the scanner. So new scanner system.in. And then we're going to make int num1 is equal to scan nextInt. Int num2 is equal to scan nextInt. The reason we're getting those yellow things on num1 and num2 is because we're not using them yet. The reason we're getting it on scanner is because we have a memory leak. So in order to do that, we're just going to close the scanner, so that should make that disappear. And we're also going to have and two more integers. Int remainder, not too sure if I spelled it right. Remainder is just equal to the mod of both num1 of mod num1 to num2. And we're gonna have int cycles, which is equal to 0, which represents the cycles that it took to get the actual greatest common denominator. Here we're gonna create a while loop. So if the remainder is equal to, if it's not equal to 0, it's gonna run the while loop. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna swap the numbers. So from here we saw 24 just exits and m becomes n and n becomes r. In our case, m is equal to num1, n becomes num2, and r is remainder. So we're just gonna set that like this. And remainder is actually going to be equal to the mod of num1 and num2 again. And cycles is going to be incremented to represent the cycles. And we're also going to print out the numbers in num1, num2, and remainder. So to make this easily recognizable, we're going to do num1 plus mod num2 and just in case the while loop doesn't run, let's say we have 40 and 20, it wouldn't run because 40 mod 20 would already be 0, so it would just return 20. We also want to actually just copy this code and put it below just in case. Let's say we were making a method from this, we would just put this in a method from here, make it static, and then we could just call it. But we're just going to run this code. So it wants two numbers. We're going to put it 24 and 29. And it shows, actually, I'm going to put this beforehand. So it could actually show the numbers before it's modded. Now we're going to run it again. 24, 9. And then we see there's 3 iterations. And the greatest common denominator in our case would be this 3. It doesn't matter if 9 is the smaller number, if the second number is the smaller number, because if we just swap it, let's say we had 9 and 24, then 9 would be the remainder, and there's just one extra step. This algorithm actually has long and complexity. I will explain this in the future videos. Thanks for watching.